Hello everyone, welcome to my class. So today today is the second video. This is the second video. First class we discussed about parts, structures, joints, articulations. Today we will be discussing about intervertebral disc. So you must have heard about one fact that morning you are taller than evening, like about 1 centimeter to 1.5 centimeter you are taller than in the evening. Why it is so? It is because of this intervertebral disc. You can see this is the intervertebral disc, these white things. Lumbar you have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and one more above with the T12 and one below with the S1. Similarly you have disc for thoracic and you have it for cervical, except the first two. So imagine this disc is like a sponge. This disc is like a sponge. So what happens with the sponge? When there is water, the absorption takes place. In the night when you sleep, you're resting. It is not loaded. So in the resting position, from the external sources, the sponge absorbs water. Thus, this disc gets bigger up to 0.4 mm. Each disc up to 0.4 mm, it becomes bigger. So imagine if each disc add to it 23 discs, the whole of spine, except the I said first two. So that's why I'm saying 23 discs. So add together you will be taller by about 1 centimeter to 1.5 centimeter. This is like a sponge, the disc. And throughout the day, when you walk about, when you do all your activities, same with the sponge, when you squeeze it, the water goes out. So same thing, when you walk about, there is load, compressive load, bending load, all that twisting, all that load happens and the water gets drained out. And thus, end of the day, you are shorter. And the ability of the disc diminishes to retain the water. And as you age, the ability of this water retention and water drainage diminishes. So you can see in the older age group, this dynamics is less visible. Having said that, does that mean that you should not put the load? It's not like that. You have to put the load to make the system efficient. Same like your heartbeat. Do you ever say that the heartbeat should stop so that it gets rest? No. It has to be loaded to make it more efficient. Same thing with the disc. It has to be loaded to make it more efficient. You never say rest, then disc is fine. No. Actually, the rest enhances the degeneration capacity of the disc. Thus, load it and improve the efficiency. Now we'll go to the anatomical details. As usual, we come to this place so that I can explain you with the diagrams. So what are the parts of the disc? This is a intervertebral disc. In the center you have a nucleus pulposus. And this one is called as annulus fibrosis. And one upper covering will be there here as well as here. This is called as vertebral end plate, both the sides. So two vertebral end plates. This is a parts of the disc. Nucleus pulposus in the center, annulus fibrosus around surrounding, and the vertebral end plate above and below. It will look something like this. This will be the annulus fibrosus, above vertebral end plate, below vertebral end plate, and this is a disc. This is a nucleus pulposus. Nucleus pulposus is a soft gelatinous structure, like full of fluids, like a jelly. And annulus fibrosus is a rubbery tough structure. The main function of it is to hold this nucleus pulposus. The design is annular, that's why it's called as annulus fibrosus. Annular, that means lamina, several layers, up to 15 to 25 layers of folds are there here, comprising the annulus fibrosus, that the rubbery texture. Nucleus pulposus, nucleus in the center, nucleus meaning in the center, the core. Pulposus is pulp, like a jelly. So this is nucleus pulposus, annulus fibrosus, and vertebral end plate, up and below. So what is the function of this disc? Why do you have disc? Why do you have an intervertebral disc? Imagine, because of intervertebral disc, when you walk about, there is shock absorbing mechanism happens. Thus, your vertebra is intact. There is no degeneration, no impact, not much force on the vertebra. And again, in the diagram I will show you how this disc dissipates the force. Example, if there is some amount of force coming from this vertebra to this vertebra, this disc dissipates, reduces the force coming to the lower vertebra. Next function is it gives the movement. Suppose if there is no disc, your spine will be straight. There will be no movement. Because you have the disc, you can do the flexion, extension, rotation, not in the lumbar but other places, side flexion. This disc guides the movement. The other function is it gives the nutrition to the structure. The transmission of water is through osmosis, and that's how nutrition also takes place. And also one more use of the disc is, see, because of this disc you have this curvature. This is lordotic curvature, and again in the thorax kyphotic, like that. Why this curvature? This curvature helps in efficiency. Imagine if there is a straight vertebra, it is less efficient compared to a curvy vertebra where you can move with less energy expenditure. Yes, this is about the functions of the disc. Now we will try to explain you clearly. First, to know about this intervertebral disc, you should remember the 4 points. One is hydrostatic pressure. Next is stress. Next, Pascal's law, and the next one is radial expansion. So we'll go one by one. Before that, it is better, always better to have an idea how your disc looks like. This is from the side view. From superior view, it will look something like this. Same thing, annulus fibrosus, nucleus pulposus in the center, and above one is the vertebral end plate. So always draw two diagrams. So I'll try to explain you what is this. Since this is a watery material and this is rubbery, imagine that this is to hold the water. What happens in the disc? What happens in the disc? Suppose this is a disc. This is a lower vertebra. This is a upper vertebra. So when you're standing, what happens? There is a hydrostatic pressure exerted on the water. So what happens when there is a upper force? The hoop stress takes place. What is hoop stress? The vertical pressure gets transmitted into circumferential pressure, thus reducing the load on the lower vertebra. Now the pressure will be on this and less on the vertebra. This is called as hoop stress. Circumferential stress when there is a superior load takes place. Next, you should also remember Pascal's law. What is Pascal's law? Pascal's law states that water, you know that you cannot compress the water. You cannot compress the water. So what happens when you put pressure on the water? When you put pressure, this is obviously a water. When you put pressure on the water, the force on everywhere is equal. The force distribution everywhere is equal. That is Pascal's law. Radial expansion, yes, because of this there will be a radial expansion of the disc, thus holding the force. So these 4 points you have to remember. Again, what happens in bending and all, you can see the other diagram. You can see this diagram. This is extension, this is flexion. This is extension, this is flexion. So what happens to the disc? Facet joints will come to it later. What happens to the disc? See, there is compression here, so there will be stress here. This is in extension. What happens in flexion? Opposite happens. There will be compression here and there will be stretch here. Does that mean the liquid gets compressed? No. Imagine it like a ball. When you press this, the pressure will go as Pascal's law said, uniformly on here. I am not compressing the water array, it's just the pressure goes from here to there. So here there will be a compression and here there will be stress. So same thing happens to the intervertebral disc. There will be compression here and there will be stretch here. What happens to nucleus pulposus? Nucleus pulposus, there will be slight migration to the stretch because you have to push it. You have to push. There is no space because there is excessive pressure uniformly. So the nucleus slowly goes towards the outer side, and here this side. And as it keeps on going, it at some point it will give way and give you disc prolapse. So more stress will give you the disc prolapse. So this is about intervertebral disc. See you in the next class. Thank you.